What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air, immediately following NXT. And what did I tell you, Ben, about that dang elevator music entrance? Let's get it figured out. It's every darn Tuesday now. I'll tell you what, I got to introduce my friends. I got the usual suspects just hanging with me tonight. Could not be more stoked. First and foremost, I'm going to send this one out to the DMV. It's Tuesday, so get your twos up for the Tuesday Night Delight. And that is Shoddy. What's going on, my friend?
What's good, bro? All is good here. It is Tuesday night. NXT off the air. We just got done watching a wrestling episode of NXT. A lot of great matches. And pretty hyped to talk about it because my GOAT has returned. And I definitely will have to talk my ish to Dryzzy because we up here. We up.
It's not just another Tatum Tuesday.
Just another Tatum Tuesday.
I'm sorry, I had to, but before we get started, most importantly though, there's something, and I always forget it, but there's something in Louisville that I should. What was it? You gotta remind me, Big Driz. What is it again?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Oh wait, I felt the bill. But good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. While you were away, I was out winning championships. As you see this big shiny belt on my shoulder. It's your boy Dryzzy, aka the Wrestling Plug. You don't know the watch. I got you.
The gold is in the building, Driz. I love it.
Yes.
Of course, you're out winning titles
Oh,
along the way.
we got belts here, huh? We got
Is it a
belts
gold
here.
contest?
We got belts here. All right.
I've got like a fantasy football belt, but it's on the
This
other
is.
side of the
I
ring.
actually have to return this to the new winner of the fantasy football league.
I don't know if this is good, but when it comes
So
to
he has to-
memorabilia,
He has to sit there return his. This one stays with me.
I just started doing the mental math when I saw both the belts come out, and I was like, I'm weirdly closer to a baseball mitt than I am a belt. I don't know. I don't know if that is
Look at that.
beneficial, but as far as memorabilia is concerned, I'm like, that's not going to help me. Either way, what an electric episode of NXT. Driz, it's so good to have you back as always. And we all need someone to believe in, something to believe in.
Me. And if not me, Joe Hendry.
And if not you, Joe Henry, but it's not Fallon Henley or Jada Parker. Stephanie Vaquer went 2 for 2 tonight.
She's number 3 on that list of people you
That
need to believe in.
threw me for a loop, to say the very least, my friends. I went into this mentally like, oh, this is how they get one of the titles off of Vaquer. Not so fast, in the words of the great Lee Corso. My friends, nope. Not today, Junior. 2, not 1, but 2 wins. 1 via roll-up early against Jada Parker. Interesting, the order of these matches.
Yeah, it was ass backwards.
I disagree.
I was about to say back asswards, but
I actually disagree. I think they did it correctly.
Okay. Shoddy, then I'm going to go to you first. What were your thoughts on both matches, but also talk to me about like the order of the booking, because it is interesting that they went world title out of the gates and then North American title to finish the show.
First and foremost, Stephanie Vaquer has solidified herself as the baddest woman in the entirety of the WWE. 2 titles, defending both titles in separate occasions on her show, being the epitome of a fighting champion. Nobody is touching Stephanie Vaquer in the WWE in the women's division. And I might even have to argue, I don't think there is anybody touching Stephanie Vaquer in any champion. Like, if you gotta give praise to where it's due, like that's pure, utter domination when you're talking about a professional wrestler. She comes out and she shows out. She does what she needs to do. And that is the epitome of what you want as a champ. Side note, everything else checks out boxes as well. We don't even need to talk about that because she looks like a star and she acts like a star because she is a star. But she went out and did her thing in the most competitive women's division of all professional wrestling at that. The target is on her back, and the fact that she doesn't run from that, it just shows why she's one of them ones. Now, in regards to what you guys were saying, everyone is on the notion of, you know, it may not make a lot of sense when we're talking about the main title being the first match and then the North American title being the main event. But I don't have issues with it because two things in these matches happened that made all women look good in this situation. First and foremost, let's talk about the first match with Jada Parker. Hard hitting bout. How Stephanie won with the Jordan Grace interference, allowing us to get Jordan Grace and Jada Parker's rivalry to continue, but also the roll up. Jada Parker needs to be protected in this situation because they see her as a dominant force. So, in that sense, she lost, she lost the title match, but she didn't lose in like a squash match or anything like that. It was competitive, and she lost within the roll up because that's how big of a presence she is. The second match being the main event, we had the post match beatdown by Fatal Influence, and Stephanie was playing the whole notion of going against the numbers, being hurt, but still overcoming the situation. And the fact that you have the numbers game and attacking her, we didn't know if Stephanie was going to win this match at the main event. And I think that's what makes it more sensible because you go into the main event like she might lose this because she's hurt, and this is a good way to get the title off of her rather than, oh, Stephanie, we know that she's going to come in tonight and win both matches. Like, I feel like in that sense, the booking allowed you to kind of get an idea that she could potentially lose this match. She could potentially lose one of her titles, and it could make sense. It could suck, whatever it may be, or she could win. I like situations like that, but nonetheless, if you are a Stephanie Vaquer stockholder, your portfolio is looking very nice right now because I don't Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry you lost your belt, so you're a bozo. Tiffany Stratton, I love you, but you're not doing great work right now.
Well,
Io
and you
Shirai, you're still one of them ones, but Stephanie got two belts.
you
Live,
brought up a
you're still
wicked
one
point
of them.
there. There was something about the fact that she had to win via desperation in the first that made the second match more intriguing, right? Like she had to win, she had to pull out, everything. It wasn't via the finisher, it wasn't via the right, like it was a roll up.
All right.
She got out of there, right? She
Yeah.
won and she got out of there. And
Okay.
then you have the second match, you got to wrestle twice. But Driz, I do have to also ask you about it.
If you swap that around, the exact same thing can happen. But your world women's title is supposed to be your top title. This is where I'm gonna get on that whole soapbox of the your which belt is more important. So is the North American title more important than the women's title? Because that's kind of what this showed me tonight. And everything that Shad broke down that happened absolutely could have happened in the reverse order. Fatal Attraction is gonna attack if Stephanie loses, which makes her banged up. It also brings Jordan out. So when we go to the women's title later on that match, Jada's got on the ropes. Jordan shows up again, and guess what? The same roll up can still happen. Everything can happen, but it's me nitpicking at this point because it's a PSA best one division in wrestling. It didn't matter because you're telling either way it goes, you're telling the same exact story. It's just one belt's happening at the end of the show, one's happening at the beginning. I'm nitpicking on it, but it's the same thing. Stephanie Vaquer, damn, might be the best women's champion in WWE right now. She very well might be. I really have no gripes against it. Um, shit, she kind of knocking it. The only her only equal right now may be Mercedes and Tony in all of wrestling. She's a top three women's champion in all of wrestling right now. So Stephanie is on top of the world. Do not be surprised when you see the PWI and all the lists come out and Stephanie Walker is at number one of that list. and this is just where it starts at. This is the boulder rolling down the hill, collecting all the momentum.
100%, 100%,
I'm,
Driz.
I'm I don't know if I'm ready to put her over my CEO though. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm ready for that.
I
But it's
said that's her
close.
equal. I said that's the only her, maybe her only equal.
I that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You can make the argument. I think Mercedes Moné is the best women's wrestler in the entire world right now, though.
I hear you. I think bell to bell, yes.
I think in every
I don't
totality.
know
I
about
think
total package.
oh
Mercedes Monet, you're going number one.
yeah.
If you're taking all the current women champions right now, I'm probably
She's got like 5
It's
belts.
and by the way, Fernando is in agreement here. And I'm not even trying to disagree. I feel almost on the spot as far as the subject is concerned because I'm
It,
like, I gotta think, man.
it can vary. So this is the thing. It could be a 1A, 1B situation. The only reason I have Mercedes over Stephanie at the moment is because she's had these reigns longer and Stephanie
Right.
is kind of new into her reign. But the thing is, when we're talking, so if we're talking in a WWE landscape, we don't need to talk. I don't. My bad. I'm over lapping the whole AW aspect to it, and we'll
You're all
probably talk
good.
about AW again for a second.
We can.
But but I'll say this: if we're
Hey,
talking
this
about
is our show, Shoddy. Talk about whatever you want. All of us.
facts. But if we are talking about a WWE landscape, yeah, she's easily the best women's superstar, women's champion on the roster right now, and it's not close. It's really not close, honestly. Like you put everything into perspective. Where she has the titles matters. She has the titles in the strongest competitive women's roster. She's going against the toughest competition week in and week out. Like, I'm sorry, Tiffany Stratton, I love her, but she's not going against high level matches every week, not title defenses every week. And she's not being portrayed as a real-time champion like Stephanie is. Like, it's the frustration with Raw and SmackDown is you have the damn blueprint on Tuesdays, but you can't even get a smidget of that on your shows weekly,
Yeah.
week in and week out. Like the Raw stuff is cool. I got no issue with it, but it's a revolving door of the same segments between these three women every week. Like they and we have somebody wrote in the comments. Where is it real quick?
We got a ton of comments to go through, and I also
salute,
have an interesting question for both of you guys that
salute
like
to my
I'm
dog
really
Fernando
curious
saying
about.
she should move up to the main roster. That's fine and dandy. I think she would do excellent on the main roster. But why would she want to go to the main roster right now? Like,
Yeah.
what is the point? Like when y'all was saying Jordan Grace, why is she going to NXT? Y'all making it sound like that was a beneath her situation. Why wouldn't she want to go to NXT?
Okay. This is my fear though, because I hear a lot of that shoddy too, and I love the fire, especially like Jordan Grace. And on this very program, the three of us have very much praised this division, deservedly so. I'm not saying we said it first, but we were up there.
Oh, we said it first.
I think we said it first. I don't want to guarantee it. If somebody tries to fact check,
I remember I said it.
I'm relatively confident it was us, though. That's all I'm saying. See, I'm trying to be humble here.
No, we said it when people was cracking jokes on this show week in and week
They
out.
drug me for filth for saying that.
Yup.
Clark, how did I get hired?
Oh.
What was my email about?
I actually kind of forget.
What was my writing piece about?
I don't know.
Why the NXT women's division is the best division.
Oh, that's actually right. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it was the NXT women's division.
I'm gonna get on the episode and read it on air.
No, but here's the no. I actually I'm sorry. I was sitting there. I'm like, don't put me in the spot like that. I'm like, what was it? What did you? I'm like, because by the way, I want you to know when we interviewed you. Sorry, not inside baseball here, but like, I got the call that day and it was like, hey, we're doing a couple interviews today. This guy's Shad. Like he does battle rap and stuff or whatever. Here's his writing sample. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what time is it? And he's like, we're gonna do it in 7 minutes. I'm like, okay, great. Let me read the writing sample. Like, no, it was a good time though. And we got the GOAT, Shoddy.
Bro, hold up, man. I don't like to do this to our commenters, but Steph ain't that big deal out of the
Oh,
states.
no, that's where I
Wow,
was going
buddy.
next.
I didn't realize where they wrestled today was outside of the United States where all those people were cheering. My
Hang
goodness.
on.
I know Florida is a cesspool of a state in the U.S., but it's still part of the United States.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. I've got a serious question when it comes to this NXT women's division and it comes to the Stephanie thing. And I'm not trying to make accusations or, in the words of Rick Ross, false accusations. But one thing I was a little concerned about tonight, to pick up 2 victories in both divisions in what we consider to be the best women's division in all of pro wrestling. As much as somebody as talented as Vaquer, Stephanie Vaquer deserves it. And it's a crowning moment. Coming out of it, does it not in some way belittle the rest of the division? I'm gonna toss that to you, Drizzy, really quick. Just because I'm not saying belittle, but does it make it feel smaller than it should? Because should we not just be celebrating Stephanie's accomplishment? And there's, for some reason, that's the only little bit of gunk I could see coming out of this that's a little bothersome, right?
Mm. I can see why you would say that, but this division is so good that anybody, any on any given, I won't say any given Tuesday, any given Tuesday. So from Tatum's Paxley to Rizzo to Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, any one of them on any given Tuesday will give you a run for your money, as you just saw with Jada Parker giving Stephanie a hell of a fight tonight. There is no doubt that at any given time, any one of them can step up to the plate. This is not just what's happening recently. It's always been like that with them. Remember when Roxanne was taking on Thea Hale out of nowhere, and Thea Hale almost took Roxanne's arm home with her? That it's this division makes everybody step up. So Stephanie stepped up even more. So now everybody else is grasping, and you see how the show ended. Everybody is dying to step up and show that they're just as good. I feel like if anything, it motivates everybody to want to do more and be better and make this division even better than what it already is. To take it to new levels.
100%.
Can
I
I
hear
can I
you,
can I
man.
can I add a point to that though?
Of course.
Um, NXT probably does the best at presenting their champions than any other company in the WWE umbrella. You look at Obafemi, it's the same way. They make their champions matter and they make the title enhance the wrestler and present them to be a big deal. Like a lot of situations, people carry a title and it's just them not making the title and hoping the title can make them. It's a perfect blend on NXT. And I think for Stephanie, her being this dominant champion, her being this fighting champion, the baddest woman on the block, will only make whoever gets the title off of her a bigger star in
True.
the path to when we get there. You know, it's the same thing that we saw with
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler with Oscar. They got that same recipe and they're doing it all over again.
The
Even Roxanne
dominance.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It,
I hear you 100%.
they do
Let,
such a great job with their champion. Even tonight, Sean Spears. We
yeah.
joked about him being a champion, and tonight it
Well,
fit.
that's
It
what I was
looked
about to
good.
introduce, my
Yeah,
friend, because
let's
our
get to the next topic.
very next segment, we've got the Saints go marching in. Ricky Saints and Sean Spears interrupts him. It's an interruption. Pardon the interruption, which apparently will continue, unlike Around the Horn. Shout out. I always loved that show. After
I missed
school.
that
Come
show.
on,
That was
man.
a good show. That
I
was a
know,
Darn
really
man.
good
it.
show.
25 years? Come on, guys.
It sucks, man.
It's
Yeah.
brutal. Okay, back to the task at hand here. Ricky, the Saints go marching in, is being interviewed. Sean Spears interrupts said interview. Not so nice. Ricky Saints, not a huge fan of that. just chirps him back. Nothing short of delightful. I dug every second of it. I liked that a lot. Sean Spears started making some points, which also bothered me. Like, I was highly critical of Spears, started making some good points. That was a little bit, I was in a mental pretzel at times during the segment, but at the end of the segment, okay, that was cool. That's where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go to you first, though, Shotty. Just be positive about Ricky Saints because I was kind of not nice about it.
There was a line said tonight by Sean Spears that makes me really appreciate the fact that sometimes they blend and they have to blur the lines of what happens in reality with these guys and what happens in kayfabe and stories. Sean Spears having the line, in case this doesn't work out here, we both know you can go back. Wait, never mind. You burned every bridge you had before. My God. What a line, Sean Spears. If there is a way to make me invested in you as a heel and as a character, that is the way you do it. That is the way you garner attention and you make yourself look like a champion and a total threat. I thought the interaction between these both guys in the sit down interview was really good. You can tell that they obviously, the elephant is in the room. We know they both worked in the old place in AEW together. So there is going to be chemistry. There is ways that they can poke lines at each other like that. It's so remarkable how they do that. And I don't have a problem with this being the first wave of feuds and matches for Ricky Starks. The Sean Spears, the Ethan Page. I feel like it's a good, comfortable place for him to go to. And it's for that belt. That North American title is going to be in contention for it. I think this is a good way to, add a good little mid-card feud for these guys and help build up these guys in the division a little bit more. So I thought it was really good.
Oh, shoot. Absolutely. Hang on, sorry. I'm having a minor technical difficulty, not like a major one, but I just need it for the camera cut. We're good. We're back. Everyone, we're back to your regularly scheduled program. No, Sean, I agree with a lot of what you just said there. I mean, look, I was probably overly critical of these three. Drizzy, I want to get your opinion, but I do want to talk about them. I kind of want to save my Ricky Saints and my Sean Spears and my opinions on Ethan Page for later, for just a little bit later. But Drizzy, I want to get your thoughts on it as well. What were you feeling?
Ricky seems to always know. He's just so quick witted on the mic. And Shad Spears, I sit there and I've been sitting there thinking about it since I knew we were going to talk about it, and it kept going. I just kept going through my head. The major stories that he had were with AJ Styles and I want to say Baron Corbin for the WWE US title, Bobby Roode, his first big feud, and this. Sean Spears and this is just in WWE sense, but Sean Spears is so good when he has stuff to play off of. It almost feels like he has to have a big meaty bone to chew on for him to get that amazing glimpses that we've been seeing since OVW days. He looked so good in this, like he'd held that belt for a while. It doesn't feel like he's only held it like a couple of weeks. He made so many good points and so many burns on Ricky Starks that it is hard to do. Ricky Starks is such a quick-witted person on the microphone that for Sean to sit there and get him like that is absolutely amazing. So this combination here is money now. It's money now because they can sit there and play off each other. You have history to play off of, and history always makes everything better.
I do think it makes a lot of sense, Driz, and you're making a lot of sense there. Don't want to get ahead of myself. So I'm gonna save my thoughts.
Why don't we get to the Ethan Page and Andre Chase topic next and just
We're
blend
gonna
it
do
all
that
together?
one next. Okay, let's talk about this match. So it's Ethan Page. And Ethan's good. And he wins. Do y'all want to break down the Ethan match first, and then I can go on my big rant?
Just you know what? Just go with your rant because the match
Just
doesn't
go
matter
on
right
my
now.
big rant. So here's
Just
what the
go
deal
ahead.
is.
Yeah.
Go off. It's all
We've
good.
got the AEW 3 here. We got Ethan Page, we got Ricky Saints, and we got Sean Spears. And it's comical to me. Because we're just going to keep them around each other. We're not going to introduce anybody to anybody. Ricky Starks isn't going after Javon Evans. No, Ethan Page, who's been around, is wrestling Javon Evans. Sean Spears is now working with Ricky Starks, who we all know he's friends with. We've known that the whole time. We knew that long before Ricky Saints, I apologize, was in NXT. And I'm sick of it. It's the AEW 3, and it's cute, and we'll see how it works out. And I'm rooting for Ricky Saints, but I am so not convinced yet. It's silly. It's a club. It's a mini clique inside of NXT, and that's my greatest fear. I just don't want that to be the case. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know.
That's your rant. That was kind of mild. I was expecting you to be.
Yeah, I thought she was. I was expecting like Bobby Knight. I was expecting like a Bobby Knight chair throw. You know,
I wasn't gonna go that crazy. I'm just saying that's my current issue.
You know what? You know what? Let me go on a rant for you then.
How we're talking.
Let me go on a rant for you real quick because I want to say something real quick. Because you know what? Forget about it. Let's talk about double standards for a second, okay? Let's talk about people on the AEW side always getting upset when an AEW wrestler mentions the WWE, has a cheeky line towards them for the art of competition and whatnot. But tonight we had two references, right? We had the Sean Spears bar that was fire. And we also had Ricky Starks saying that's not the only Canadian that probably hates me. Probably a reference to, I don't know, a dude that's having a hard time to cope with his name. Can we just appreciate shots towards other companies and wrestlers doing stuff like that? Can we just like call a spade and like not complain about it on one side and act like it's amazing on the other side? All right, I get it. These guys are the I think Clark calls them not the big three, the mid three. I didn't say that. That's his line. And they are kind of correlated to get connected to each other. But it is also the aspect of this. The success these guys have in NXT does not define anything about AEW or short sells AEW as a promotion. I want to make that so evidently clear. There can be true things on any spectrum. WWE is not some missed opportunity and some bad place because Swerve and Tony Storm have become the champions and success stories they have in AEW. And it is the same concept of AEW. They are not a failure because Ricky Starks and Ethan Page and Sean Spears find success in NXT. That's just how the nature of the game is. Some players become bigger stars when they go to another team. It is what it is. Situations matter. Coaching matters. All of that. Let's just end all of that. Appreciate the wrestlers and stop making this some tribalistic bullshit.
I like everything you said there, other than that I still want to call him the AEW 3. It's so bad. Like, don't take that away from me, Shad.
The mid three it goes a little better.
Mid 3's hard.
The thing is this though. I truthfully think
mid 3 works.
That's for you. I'm not calling him that. I'm a big Ricky fan. I think Ethan Page has been doing great work at NXT. I think Ethan Page has probably found a footing in NXT more than he has in the last bit of his AEW career. And Sean Spears is doing what he needs to do. Sean Spears is a weird one because, like, he was in WWE before. I think he's just who he is. I don't think there's, like, a misuse for him. He's just the helpful hand. And that's perfectly fine. That's just who he is as a wrestler.
You want to watch your head. You might want to watch your head. The last time somebody called him a good hand, he wrapped the chair around it. So
that's a good point.
But I do agree with Shad that Ethan Page has feet. And Sean Spears does have hands. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. No, that's not what Sean said either. By the way,
No, it's just it becomes tiresome when we like. I love the aspect of competition, and I love the aspect of like just like cheeky lines like that. Right? It's always fun. It's all in fun nature. Right? This is just they're playing off of what we already know, and it makes a bit of a shock value when people take it utterly a little too serious, especially when none of y'all in the comments and none of y'all watching on TV are getting $1 from either company, and you're fighting to death for the rights of a company that's not even you can't even get a W-2 off of. Like, come on,
doesn't
man.
make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
So there you go. Sorry, Clark. I had to take your rant for you.
No, honestly, I'm really I kind of appreciate it. Mine was weaker than I thought. I thought I had more steam, and I felt like I rushed it. Did it
Hold
seem
up.
like I rushed it?
You blew your
We
load.
can't. We have
Blew
to.
your load.
Did it feel like a rush? Did it feel a bit rushed?
You blew your load.
Yeah, I think I rushed it.
You and I are on the show tomorrow,
I just think
right?
I rushed it.
You and I show tomorrow.
I got to check the schedule, but I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Okay. Or Thursday. I'm gonna give you a chance to pick a topic and go on a real rant and earn your stripes back
Perfect.
tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, I can earn my stripes back.
But here
But wait,
actually,
dude,
this is a good
completely
question, by
thrown.
the way. What are we doing with Andre Chase, Bobby Petito, a man that is utterly positive, is not happy right now?
I don't know.
That was the match.
I have
We're
no idea.
still doing the same gimmick we did at the end of last year.
Bro, what is this faction that he has?
The unofficial Chase U.
Why is he hanging out with two frat boys?
I don't know, dude. I was in a fraternity. Like, let's not knock all fraternities.
It's not all fraternities. Then he should get Josh Markowitz on his team.
That's a good point. He's in a fraternity too. He's a pledge right now. He's actually our resident pledge at the company. Shout out Markowitz. Until you get until you're inactive, though, you are still a pledge, you wedge.
Scrub.
Yeah, he's not. By the way, this one though, I wanted to show this one. Cap guy grew a beard. Are you heel now? Dude, did you not? He grew a beard?
He's like had a beard like
somebody doesn't watch the product.
Dog. I was thinking about shaving. Now you got me all in my feelings. This is brutal. Howdy said check Twitch comments.
There is none.
DCX or where is Thea Hill?
Oh,
we're trying to figure it out. She's on TikTok.
We got you there back. My mom's in the comments. Gotta love that.
Hey mom.
Gotta love that. But let's. I mean, don't we just keep it going?
You want to continue to? There's another AEW guy. My bad.
Yeah, I guess we. Well, I mean, we got the Chemical X versus the Metagirls too.
Which one you want to go with? No, we closing out with that one. That's the main event.
Okay.
We can talk about Javon Evans versus Lexus King, but we can focus on what's more important. The faction of the year, guys. The faction of the year.
They did.
What do they call it? Dark stage?
I like to call them the 4-man shield. I like to call them the
something.
4-man shield.
It was good. What
dark.
they do is cool.
It really looks like a 4-man shield.
I almost said yeah, they showed face. And they kind of didn't, but they did.
The best part of
they went to the party and left early.
The best part of this thing is Saquon Sugars.
Yes.
He's the best part of this. Give that man a mic, let him go off. Please and thank you.
Look, as the resident,
you just gotta let it happen, right?
As a resident DMV guy, Saquon Sugars being a true Southeast DC dude coming out there with this, let him wrestle in foam posits. Let him wrestle in
foam posits and a shot and a shiesty.
Let him have a Helly Hansen jacket, right? Let him come out with a carry-out box with some fries, fried rice, and some chicken wings and mumbo sauce with the sweet tea
Free chicken
in the
wing with fried
plastic
rice.
container.
Mumbo.
You know what I'm saying? Let him do what he needs to do. Let him talk like Jai like and say Mo, all of that. We need more DC representation on the WWE. We had Batista back in the day, but now we got Saquon Sugars, who is a bigger and more evident representation of DC than Batista is. I'm
Okay, I have a
sorry.
really important question to ask you though. Have you, Shad, ever done and it's a wild request, and you got to make sure you're in the right setting to ask it, like the line can't be too long behind you or nothing like that. But have you ever hit mumbo sauce mixed with hot on the wings? That's
Yeah,
a Clark special. That's the move. That's the
yeah.
play of the century.
I like.
It's a heads up move.
I mean, so which like do you've had mumbo sauce in DC?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because I know they sell the Capital mumbo sauce in the
Yeah,
grocery
and that's
stores.
that. It's not it at all. It's not the
No,
same.
it's not that good.
No.
Yeah, no, I do the mix. I get the hot sauce packets and put it on it too.
Yeah.
It's definitely torch.
Well,
Mumbo
and if you
sauce
get
is
the one
solid.
with the bottles of the hot sauce too, that's the key where you get it like the right ratio.
Oh, I usually just get the red, whatever that like super
Yeah, you
red,
get the
like
full blown ratio going.
You get it
yeah,
going and then
I'll
shake,
do a
shake,
pull.
shake.
I call it like a fry mode too. If you can get a side of potatoes in the proper formation, you can make a little mote of sauce as well for dipping.
yeah.
That's always been
Hey,
my. That's a
by the way,
yeah.
some people
Not.
may
I'm just talking eating
if
techniques.
if a DC representative watches this, I hope you don't get offended of me going to bat for y'all because there's territory warfare in the DMV. People don't like Virginia. People consider Northern Virginia not part of the DMV, even though I live right by a metro station, can get to DC in like 20 minutes. But
Right.
it's neither here or there. I mean, I'm rooting for them. I agree, Bobby Petito. They should definitely put the belt on
Let's
Saquon
say corn
Sugars.
sugars.
Um, I think he
Like,
should beat
damn, you just
Obafemi
got
for the title.
that.
Yeah,
I think
look,
he.
Bobby's
He
got his
just
twos
got
up.
that.
No,
It's a Tuesday night out.
look.
He's light for a
No,
reason.
he's not lying though. If this is the big time
He
faction, if this is
he
the big
just got
faction in
that.
NXT, bro, if this you just called them the 4-man shield, he's got to be the main stage in the face of this group and win the title. This
Then
is
he
the
got to do
team.
like Dean Ambrose did and get the U.S. title. Ain't no jumping ship
No,
over here.
he got to get the title off of Obafemi.
You really think they gonna let you? First off, you really think Obafemi gonna let that happen? Man,
Well,
I
he
don't.
got 3 guys to help him out.
Who?
I don't know all of their names. Dion Lennox.
See, we don't even care to know who the rest of them are. We just care about Saquon.
Look,
This group is this
it's
group is
Dion
dead.
Lennox,
The moment they,
Lennox,
I'm telling you,
Paul Jones, and Steve Stevenson.
see, this
I don't
group
know
is
the other
over
guys'
with.
names.
The moment they start taking the mask off, this group is over.
Okay,
Drizzy just went full. This is like the Eagles offense. We just care about Saquon.
Like who else? Who else do you
Oh,
whoa,
know?
Shadi,
okay, hold up,
I'm
chill out,
messing
chill
with you.
out,
That was a joke.
chill out,
We
chill out,
lost.
chill out.
We lost. It was a joke. We lost. Hands up.
Okay,
It was a joke. It was a joke. We
all
lost.
right. I'm gonna be honest with you.
38-0.
The
It was
only
pretty
good member,
embarrassing.
the only good member of this group is Saquon Sugars. Because he's the only one that can cut a promo, and they allow him to like just come out there with a do rag and just like in a shiesty and just do what he got to do. Right. The other guys don't do anything of significance. That like the one like I don't know the dude like what's the Chase Claypool looking dude's name?
Oh, I actually don't know
Is
that.
that Chase Claypool?
That'd
I'm
be kind
gonna
of
He's
go ahead.
wild.
You
not in
know
the
what?
league.
He might
He's
as well
not in
be.
the league anymore.
He might as well be. That's
Okay,
Chase.
so I gotta ask you, what do you think? So the name of the group is Dark State,
That's stupid.
right? Which isn't great. But what do you feel like
Tonight
direction
will
wise?
be the
What do you
night that
see?
I will.
That does not a. It really felt like they just stuck that in like a WWE name generator. That like there's a box of Vince old names that they like. We don't know what we want to call them. I don't know. Look in Vince's old box, see what y'all get. How do you feel about Dark State? Like I don't like that. Like we're gonna go ahead and need to change that or something. All right, hell, I don't know. Pull back the Nexus something. You have way too much history to be naming people stuff like old '90s games that didn't sell well. That sounds like an old PlayStation game. Um, the group itself, it's still early on. Saquon is the only one that we know, and we've been acting like we don't know him just to play into the illusion. I need them to do a little bit more than to just come out and instigate. Uh, I can't say that I'm 100% interested in anything they're doing at the moment. I just get more excited when I see Saquon Sugars do stuff that I would be doing if I was in his shoes. I would definitely be standing in the crowd with a shiesty cat that's like just waiting to go off on somebody. But that's me.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like when it comes to this group, a little bit like Rufus, like, tell me something good. Like, just
Like
give me something.
it worries me because I don't know what their mission statement is. The Shield had a mission statement the next night,
Right.
so it's like a lot of
Just wait, man. When Saquon Sugars is at WrestleMania with the Universal Championship being wrapped out by DC's own and WWE's own Wale in
oh,
DC
that's happening.
when
That's
That's
WrestleMania
really
happening.
happening.
when WrestleMania is going to be at FedEx
Waller's doing
Field
his interest theme when he gets on the main
because of
roster.
Saquon Sugars.
It's
I
gonna
love
happen.
it. I
He coming
love
at Nike boots and everything. It's happening.
Yeah, flyer than the rest of them. Still going.
it. Okay, let's get into the main event.
Let's go.
Chemical
Yes!
X versus the Meta Girls. God, given your excitement, I'm going straight to you. Talk to me, Goose.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are so freaking back. It is Tatum Tuesdays in full effect. I've had to deal with Tatum Thursdays on TNA the last couple weeks, and I've had the itch to wait for the GOAT to return back on NXT. And she's back. Guns are blazing. The best women's tag team in professional wrestling. Chemical X, Tatum Paxley, and Gigi Dolan. This surpasses whatever Gigi was doing with Toxic Attraction. She got the chemical now. She got the chemical. They came out and they had a match against two of the best women on this stacked NXT roster. Two women that have had an opportunity for going to gold on the main roster, going against the likes of Bianca Belair and Jade, Bianca Belair and Naomi, a lot of others big stage women, the Isla Dawn and Alba Fires, but they had to go against some real heavy hitters tonight. They had to go against the team of all teams. They had to go against the staple, the backbone of women's wrestling as a whole, Tatum Paxley. She is carrying the NXT women's division in all actuality. She is where the ratings boost was made today. She is what makes us all wake up in the morning and have a big smile on our faces. Tatum Paxley is professional wrestling. And when she and Gigi Dolan win them knockout belts from Trash by Negligence and Heather Reckless Driving, look, we fine like a speeding ticket over here. We ain't got to worry about that reckless driving.
Shad, you can see the controls and you can't hit Trash by Negligence right when I unmute. I almost just snotted out of my nose in the middle of that. Lot to unpack here, Shad.
I got the whole suitcase out, man.
Sorry, I was rolling, laughing. Like, we got one there. I'll tell you what, that was outstanding. Where do we start? So obviously it's Tatum Tuesday. We're back on Tuesdays.
I I left the tissue
Uh,
box over there. I might need one for Drizzy real quick. I think he got a
metaphor.
couple
No, dude, I'm like,
tears.
Drizzy, there was a tag team match that occurred in the midst of this.
This is the most Shad versus Drizzy match you could possibly make. If we were booking a show, we're definitely booking this match. And they just happened to pull it out. I don't understand why. My meta girls are in limbo right now. They are awaiting the return of Noam, and they're ready to go to the main roster so they can beat up on whoever has the women's tag title. Who is it? Raquel and Liv, so they can beat them. That's what we're waiting on right now. So all this other stuff is insignificant. It's minuscule. We don't want the women's knockouts titles. That's not even a company that we're a part of. We don't work for them yet. Oh well, they don't work for us yet because Jesus Christ, who knows what's gonna happen? But it's insignificant. We're not worried about this. We're not worried about this. This is an expedition game. We quit we rage quit like midway through this. This match never even happened. I don't even remember what happened. This even on the show tonight? I don't know what we're talking about this. This is a fantasy match at this point. It's a fantasy match.
It never ended.
It
It
never
was the
happened.
match that never ended.
This was Shad and me playing 2K and my controller died mid match. That's what
It's the,
happened.
Look,
and it
look, when history is made and Gigi and Tatum Paxley are the first NXT wrestlers to be a TNA champion, TNA better say thank you. Like they're getting real star power at this point. You know, we peep game. I mean, you're giving us Tessa Blanchard, you're giving us Moose in his lisp, you're giving us Dolph Ziggler in his bad knees. No, we need real star power. We need a Tatum Thursday, Tatum Tuesdays, Tatum Thursdays. SmackDown could use her, Dynamite could use her, Raw could use her. You know, everybody.
everybody needs a Tuesday night delight. Right, Shad? Everybody does.
They could, hey man, they could
Who would
use
that
me.
hurt?
I could be the manager for them. You know what I'm saying? I could, get a.
Yes, you could.
You know what? I would hit up what is it, Spencer's, and come out with the, uh
That's shout out malls.
yeah, Malls, man.
Spencer's.
Be one of the little emo people, have like my I consider them My Chemical Romance. But Chemical X is cool.
Chemical X. I hear you. Driz, I mean, look, it's still the best women's division in wrestling when
It's
it comes to
the best.
NXT. The more we talk about it, and it's funny because that's kind of been a theme of the show. That was my only fear with the double win from Vaquer. We brought that up earlier. And like, all in all, I think this was actually a really fun Tuesday night. Wouldn't you agree? Like this was it wasn't perfect, but it was as good as you can ask for a Tuesday night, and I'll take that every day of the week. Continues to show that it is the depth of the division is off the charts.
It's
There
unheard
are
of. It's unheard of.
there are 8 women that could carry the world championship or the North American championship. We
Yeah.
had 2.
Hell, honestly, you could go 10. You could go 20 deep on it.
Yeah, easy.
And there's a good 30 women in the division.
But I mean, even like ready made. Like,
And this is just the ones that are on actual NXT Prime TV. I see it on Evolve. There's some hoopers over there.
Oh yeah.
oh, no doubt about it.
Smiley Kylie, Zara Zucker, Zeta Steele. They got some, Brinley Reese.
Brinley Reese.
Danny Palmer's amazing frog splash.
Yes.
Like they got some over there.
I mean, I think about like Sol Ruka didn't appear on tonight's show.
Kendall Gray.
She did.
Or barely.
Her and Zarya in their odd couple relationship did pop up during that tag match, but that tag match that happened with me and Shad playing 2K, that's what happened.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah, they showed up, but what I
let's-
mean is she didn't appear, like she wasn't scheduled for a match.
Yeah,
Right,
nah.
like-
That's the match I need. I need Sol Ruka versus Stephanie Vaquer. That's like that's gonna be crazy.
It's awesome. It's fun every Tuesday night, but I think that does bring us to the end of the show, my friends. Have an excellent rest of your night. Happy Tuesday on behalf of all of us at WR, me, Driz, Shad. Go check out Grappling for Position. If you haven't yet, what in the world are you waiting for? The show's off the charts. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, immediately following NXT. It's going to be awesome. Not only that, the daily broadcast will be back to the regular time if you're in the US at the end of the night on Saturday night, I think. When do you guys change the clocks in the UK? Someone in the comments. Happy Taco Tuesday from Bobby. Yes, happy Taco Tuesday. Go get some tacos. Have a good one.
Yeah, Sunday Spotlight too. Don't forget that.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even plug Spotlight. Go watch Spotlight. What in the world are you doing? We will talk to you all soon, though. Have an excellent night. And peace. Sorry.
Oh.